Hello, hello, and welcome, 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 welcome. Super excited to be launching today. In case you guys do not know who I am the Soul Sage Doctor, okay? And so I'm about to tell you a little bit about I'm so excited because I'm going to give you a little storyline, give you a few minutes to join in. If you happen to catch the replay later, please be sure to leave your comments in the chat. If you are not already subscribed for I Choose Me, hashtag no more excuses YouTube page, please be sure to hit that bell and subscribe so that as I am moving forward once a week, I will be coming up exclusively just on YouTube, dropping some type of jewel, don't know what day of the week. But what I do want you to know is that I am now launching after this live at 10 p.m. my Soul Sage Doctor site where you can come and get virtual live healing. I'm super excited. But like I said, I'm not going to say too much. Let me give a little bit of time for people to tune in. Hello, beautiful. Hello. Good to see you. I see you found me on YouTube. At this time, if you are, you can definitely share. I'm actually going to share right now on YouTube right now. Onto Facebook by going to YouTube. But I just want you to know that I am launching my live virtual school for the soul. And what that means is that I will have programs. Many people may know me already. I'm a prophetic poet. I am a mom of 5 amazing kids. I'm a wife of 19 years. I am also a poet. I am a playwright. I started a movement called I Choose Me, hashtag no more excuses. That's this group page right here. I have so many different parts of me, but the part that I'm super excited about right now is my Soul Sage Doctor part, the ability to be able to take you from advice to guidance. And so through the process of my story, which I will tell you more about on this hour of just launching from survivor to soulvivor. And I want you to understand that life is not about being wealthy, Wealthy, but it's about being wealthy, Wellthy. And when I think about that perspective, I just think about the overflow. I think about what it means to feel full, what it means to be well, what it means to live an abundant life in a way that serves not only the people around you, but especially you. And so if this is your first time getting to meet me, let me tell you, I started a I Choose Me hashtag no more excuses in order to remind people that they were worthy, in order for them to remember that in order to treat your neighbors as you have already treated yourself, you have to get into relationship with self. And that means that you have to become your very own best friend by letting go of the things that you cannot change and understand what is the power in what I have experienced so that I can be able to grow and turn on my light in a way that allows somebody else to find their switch. And so what the healing school will be about, it will be about mentoring your mindset, allowing you to do that spring cleaning. And so within this first 30 minutes before I am so privileged to have some amazing kings and queens on who are going to share a little bit about their process with me, because I can toot my horn for ever. But it's not only about how I show up, but it's about how I've impacted people, right? So that you know what it means to sign up, to go to school, to get that guidance, so that you know what it means to be able to turn your pain into power, to resurrect after that dead situation. So in life, we are learning to serve ourselves in order to serve somebody else. We are learning to figure out what are the seeds that have been planted in my mindset that has me stuck and not recognizing that I was born to resurrect from every dead situation that came upon me. And so at the end of the day, when I say that you have to become a soulvivor, so many of us are survivors. We can tell you stories about what we came from. And so before I go into the soulvivor part, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am one of 7 children, grew up in New York, moved down to North Carolina, Charlotte to be exact, when I was 19 years old, where I met, maybe a couple of months later, I met my husband, and we had our first daughter and got married maybe a year later. So I've been married, like I said, 19 years. But the part that I like to talk about, the thing that started this whole movement of I Choose Me, hashtag no more excuses, was what I came from, what I experienced as a child, what I went through, as we all suffer in silence at different levels of our lives, where we have experiences that kind of rock us to our core, which kind of takes away our ability to be validated within ourselves. It takes away our courage. And a lot of times, sometimes it takes away our faith. Why? Because we don't recognize that it wasn't about what you went through. It's about what you came out of, right? It's about how you transformed from that situation, how you became amazing, how you became valuable, right? How you counted up the cost. And so I suffered from molestation as a child. We dealt with homelessness, and while that is one side of it, I was also blessed with the ability to find an outlet. And my outlet was prophetic poetry that I learned that I can do at an early on age. And so my prophetic poetry opened up a door for me to kind of heal myself unconsciously. So through my pain and suffering of going through, molestation and kind of hiding that, right? Not sharing it just in the very beginning until, when we were trying to, when we dealt with it. But after that, it was like, you put it behind yourself, right? You put it deep within yourself. And in that process, you kind of suffer in silence because you hide from that part of yourself. So let's say I was married for years, right? Having, I would say, disagreements in my marriage because of the pain that I was holding on to from my childhood, because of the pain that I was holding on to unconsciously when we think we get over stuff, because physically we get over stuff, right? That's the survivor in us. But mentally, right, spiritually, we still suffer in silence, right? Because we don't know that we matter and that we're afraid to remove the shame and get in our lane. And so for so many years, I didn't have my age enough to have a message. But through these last, I would say 15 years of life, I was able to create a movement of self-love. And it started just for women and girls, because that's what I identified with. I wanted to remind them that no matter what secrets you're holding, no matter how much pain you are in, no matter what you've experienced in your past, that you were worthy, that you were able, that you deserve to live a life that allowed you to rise up, because God sent you to go through whatever it was that you were going through so that you can be the solution to somebody's problem, so that you can bring light in somebody's darkness, so that you can remind them of what you've been through, all those trials. And when I think about trials, I think of today we're surviving all these different things in life, right? So how do we get past the trials? How do we grow to the best parts of ourselves? We deal with it. And I said, too often we are in our feelings, but we don't take the time to do the healing, to address the things that got us stuck, to actually be brave enough and courageous enough to share with people how we feel, who we are, in order to grow into the levels that we were born to go into. And so I had to mentor my mindset. I had to have some hard conversations, and I had to, first of all, get in a relationship with God. I had to recognize that he wasn't picking on me, but that he was picking me up, that he was preparing me for such a time as today. Because all of those things that I experienced, all of the stuff that I learned, all the low moments, I realized that after every valley was always a mountaintop. And so life looks like this because that's what the journey looks like. You're on a wave of life, because you were born to be a water walker. And so if you can't learn to take on the ways of life, you miss what your whole purpose was all about, which was to magnify God through your experiences, was to let go, which is love every trial. We have to let go in order to show up. We have to love every trial in order to be great. And so in me loving every trial, we also get to live in our dreams, right? because grace expects testimonies. And so this right now is the grace that I get for showing up. Not because it was easy, but because I was worth it. Not because of anything, but that God sent me here to do something great. And he sent you here too. And I think a lot of the times we are stuck in what we lost and not what we gained. We are stuck in the war and not the win. We are stuck in the death, the crucifixion, and not the resurrection. And so what this school of healing will do for you, it will allow you to resurrect from that dead situation, that old thing in your past, the thing that got you stuck, the thing that had you bound, the thing that got your relationship suffering. Because to be wealthy is about a spiritual awakening. It's about saying that spiritually, I recognize that it was necessary for me to be who I am today. Because just as I know the truth, that it was written in like that. And how I get up from those situations determines how far I go. It determines where I end up when I realize that I get to create my reality by addressing my truth, by addressing those pains in me, by addressing the things that were meant to make me stronger, that were meant to build my character, that was meant to put me on assignment. And so the question is, what does your assignment look like? How do you rise in that? You do that by honoring yourself through what? Different programs. And so when I think about the word program, that's why I said this school is going to be filled with so many different programs where you can get a weekly refill, where you can sign up if you are a healer and you need to get poured back into because you have been pouring so much. If you need to actually learn how to hire yourself in order to what? Do all the things that I did. Because let me tell you something. I was a stay-at-home mom of 5. And I can proudly say that in that time that I stayed home, I was able to, in that journey of loving on myself and loving on my kids and having an amazing husband to support and grow me, I'm able to say that I am now the author of 4 books with a 5th one coming. These clothes you see behind me, this is my I Choose Me Bling Boutique line because I own my brand of I Choose Me, hashtag no more excuses. I was able to create a store. I was able to create programs, to create games, to create calendars. And I did all that from that little broken precious. I did all of that with those things that I went through. I did all of that because God validated me through every piece of change. Every little piece of change that occurred, I was able to become whole again because I didn't step over the change, but I picked it up. And so what I want to teach you to do is to pick up the change so that you can see just how amazing you are, so that you can see that it was intentional, that God had designed you for such a time like this, that God had picked you and set you aside because you were worthy. Did you hear me? Because you were worthy. And when I use the word worthy, it's because you are worth the yes. It is worth plus why. You are worth the yes. You are worth everything you desire. And you know why I know that? Because you already paid for it. So until we are able to understand that we've already paid for admission, we've already paid for the ability to be VIP, but we are survivors in the flesh. But sometimes our mindset is like, well, what was that thing? Or do you ever find yourself telling yourself, I'm unworthy? You ever find yourself telling yourself, I'm not good enough? Do you ever find yourself hearing the whispers that people said to you about you through the years that you never spring clean? And you wonder, what is it that keeps me bound, that keeps me locked up? It is the way you see you, because they have no authority over you. God gave you the authority. And so if we find ourselves stuck, it's because we haven't seized the keys to our own future. We haven't unlocked the doors in which we already found the master key. And so in order to master ourselves, we have to be real with where we're still hurting, where we're still suffering at. And so when I say no more sis, I'm not talking about queen, woman, girl. I'm talking about no more suffering in silence. We have done it as kids, and many of us do it as adults. As women, we do it. As men, we do it. Nobody can be real with how they feel because they want to seem braver than they are. They want to seem tougher than they are. They want to seem more able than they are, when all we need to do is connect and collaborate with one another. That God equipped you with one thing so that you would need some other things from some other people. And so while we isolate ourselves in our pain, God wants us to know that that is our power. That is how he processes us into our promise. That is how we show up in the assignment that is attached to our name, because we get to name ourselves. And those names that they called you before, those are lies, because God said, I am that I am. And so if I am telling myself anything opposite than am, then it's not of God. And if I am stuck in the pain of my past and not in the power of my present state, because it is clear that I am here. And insanity is thinking back on yesterday as if I didn't win. And so you've won because you're present. That is the survivor. But the Soulvivor is those things that stop you from showing up. Because unless everybody can say that they are exactly where they want to be, then a part of their faith and works has got disconnected because of the mindset that they're holding, because of a seed that somebody unconsciously planted in you that you never did the spring cleaning on, that you never removed out of your mindset, that you never removed out of your life. And so I want you to know that what it means to be wealthy is to have overflow. And I mean, not in one area, I'm talking about in all areas. All areas, because all areas matter. So it's not just about where you are in your career. It's not just about where you are in your family. It's not just about where you are in your relationships. It's about where you are with you. Where you are with you, how you feel about you, how you see you, how you show up for you, and what that looks like. Are you your own best friend? Do you advocate for yourself like you advocate for everybody else? Do you talk your friends into their greatness and talk yourself out of it? Do you speak up for everybody else who seems to need a voice and forget to use your own? Not too long ago, we were doing a live and we spoke about the word dumb. And for so long, so many of us thought that dumb meant to be stupid. But dumb only means to be silent without voice. And so we have been dumb for so long to ourselves because we have strained ourselves. We have closed off our voice. We have stopped ourselves from being able to be courageous enough to say, you know what? God sent me through some tests. But he sent me through the test because he knew I could pass. He pre-qualified me, and he only sent me so that I can validate myself, so I can believe in the power that he gave me, so I can recognize that everything that I've been through was for me to recognize the gift within myself, so that I can recognize just how powerful I was, so I can recognize just where I can go. And that's what he wants from you as well. And so while we are all working on different areas, the most important area is your soul, because your soul is your mindset. It is how you see yourself. It is how you think about yourself. It is how you show up for yourself. It is the most important thing that you have in this world, because so many of us are waiting to live in eternity. But God sent us to enjoy now. And the way we enjoy now is dealing with that stuff that got us in our feelings, that's got us feeling inadequate, that's got us feeling unworthy. Or even if you feel worthy, but you know that there's something missing. Sometimes you just need a refill because we pour out so much. And so it doesn't always mean that you didn't get over everything, but it does mean that you don't know how to support you first. You don't know how to make sure that you're full before you're pouring into everybody else. And then you find yourself with yourself depleted and hoping that people will serve you like you serve them. But that's not their responsibility. It is yours. It is your responsibility to choose you. It is your responsibility to honor you. It is your responsibility to love you. It is your responsibility to resurrect from the things that got you stuck. That belongs to you. The power was already given to you. The authority was already given and placed in you. And so what we do with what we know to be so is how we rise. It is how we get to the levels that we want to be in. It is how we celebrate ourselves. It is how we grow into who we were called to be. And so life is about understanding I get to be who I choose to be. And I choose me. I choose to make God proud with all the hell I've been through. I choose to shine my light so somebody else can find their switch. I choose to get over the things that I cannot change so I can change the things that I'm going to get over. Do you understand that? I choose my birthright, which was to get into assignment. And that only happens when I get in alignment. And the alignment is my spirit and my soul. That is my health. Because what I believe is how I'm going to show up. What I believe is what I'm going to do. If I think I can do it, I'm going to walk to it. But if I doubt it, I probably won't take the chance. And so we got to mentor our mindsets because this is assignment time. And there are so many people that are waiting for you. They are waiting for you because you have something that nobody else has. You have a story. You have a testimony. It's not what you go through, it's what you grow through. And God is waiting for you to tell somebody what you grew through so that they can believe what they can grow through. And we can only do that in spirit and in truth. And so when we are to be holy, we are to be authentic with our being. We are to show up with everything we have. We are to become water walkers because God has given us the tools. He said, all you had to do was ask. Did you hear me? He said, all you had to do was ask. And so everything we need is available to us when we learn how to ask. When we learn how to show up for us first. And so I know people think that showing up for you is selfish, but let me tell you, it is selfless. You know why it's selfless? Because until I show up for me, I can't be anything for you, at least not in spirit and truth, because God says to treat your neighbor as you first treat yourself. So if I treat you better, if I show up for you more, if I do all that for you than I do for me, then God is looking at you like, oh, so you got it in you, but you don't got it for you. Come on now. So you can impact somebody else, but you can't understand how I've impacted you, how I show up for you, how I want you to validate you, how I want you to see you, how I want you to celebrate the you that I called you to be. And so I'm so proud of what you're pulling out of them. But if everybody took care of themselves, guess what? There will be nothing left to do. And so we are living in a world of so much chaos because everybody is not doing the proper thing to do, which is self-care, which is self-love, which is self-validation, which is honoring that God breathed life into each and every one of us. And that he has no respect of persons. He respects the person who respects the person he created. And that's you. And so how are you honoring yourself? How are you filling yourself up? How are you supporting yourself? How are you preparing for who you said you want to be? How are you preparing for where you said you want to go? Well, guess what? You don't have to look any further because now I am ready to take you from advice to guidance with the virtual healing school. Why is it a school? Because we have to level up. We have to decide that it's not enough to be here, that every time we pour into ourselves and we prepare ourselves, then God says more is ready. More is coming. And so we want the more, but we don't want to do the work. And the work starts with us. It starts totally with us. Oh, wow. We already 25 minutes in. And so at 9:30, I'm going to start bringing some guests in. So I'm going to take this time to check some messages, see if anybody has any questions. I see. Hello, Lessons in Legacy. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope I'm not talking too fast, but if you know me, I'm a speed talker. It comes in so fast. It goes out so fast. But luckily, you can have the replay. Time is a ticking, and I can talk. So hello, Nakia. Hello. Or what do you say? Time to get wealthy. Yes. Okay. So we have fabulously greetings, Queen. Thanks for your transparency. Absolutely. Let me tell you something. That's one thing you're going to learn. But let me tell you, I'm going to be real. I didn't wake up transparent because my mess had to age for me to get a message. And that was the healing process. And so I had to go through the healing with help, of course, but mostly by myself. Of course, God has always given me access, but these tools that I'm sharing is because of my process of what I went through. And so the gift in life is that we invest in sanity and not for vanity. And so investment is money, and money is time. And so whether you're spending money or spending time, that both becomes an investment into your future. And so the time that I was able to spend with me to nurture the places that I didn't understand, but that were needed for me to get past those things that I was holding on to, I now have tools to be able to get you past them way sooner, way quicker, because I have the exact remedies. And that's what the school is going to be all about. It's about mentoring your mindset in a way that you will never be the same. Powerful. Thank you. Sharing your story can sometimes give other people tips and tools and hope to survive their valleys. Period. That is the bottom line. And that's why God created you. He created you to be able to share so that you can shine your light, so that you can let them know, listen, I've been through some things, but God. I've experienced some low moments, but God. I died to some things spiritually, but God. I had to resurrect from molestation. That was a big thing in my life, especially because it happened to be my father. And so you want to know what it is to love somebody deeply, because y'all can't say nothing about him. You hear me? Nothing. But it still was a pain for me. And so that is a truth that I have. And so when I say that you have a right to experience what you got to experience, but you have the power to let go, to love anyway. Sorry, I don't know what just happened. Is it still frozen? Okay, we're moving. I clocked out, but I'm back in. I guess that was a deep one. It had to knock me out and bring me back. But it's big, and because we all carry scars, and we all carry pain, and we all feel like we're missing something, or we all have been through something. But at the end of the day, it's about us still loving on ourselves. It's about us still uniting with ourselves. It's about us seeing ourselves through those scars. Because we understand that it was necessary. Because we understand that it equipped us, it prepared us for such a time like this. That God sent us into the earth to bring answers. He sent us into the earth to save somebody. He saw something went wrong and he sent you. And in order for him to know that you can be what they need, he had to send you through it. In order for him to know that Jesus could die and resurrect, he had to send him through it. And he was perfect. And we are far from perfect, but saved by grace. And so when he says that we would do greater works than him, it's us standing up in our testimonies to help somebody from suffering. I had to make sure I launched today because today is the mentoring. I mean, we're in mental health. This is Mental Health Awareness Month. So that's what it was all about. I'm thinking it's not on, so I'm going to put who goes before him because we're already at the 9:30 mark. I told you I can get distracted. Let me get here. Hold on one second. So, so that's what it's all about. And so at this time, I am going to start with my guest because we're at the 9:30 mark. I'm hoping everybody in here is ready to go. Hold on one second. One of my people that's supposed to be on is on. Don't you worry. We're going to take it out of order, but we're going to make sure we get it done. And so we're going to move around the order right now because people are running at a different time frame. And so right now, thumbs up in the green room if you're ready, if I could pull you up, even though it's out of order. Can y'all see me in the green room? Can y'all hear me? Thumbs up if I can choose you first. So everybody's saying thumbs up, perfect. So the first person I'm going to go with is the first person in line, and that will be Star Fletcher. She is my little sister. And at this time, I'm going to invite her in because while I can speak to you about myself, and I hope you as confident to speak about yourself as I just spoke about me, I had to grow into this place, but I want you to know that as it's so important for you to show up for you, it matters when other people show up to say how you impacted or affected them so that you can see just how powerful the process is. And so at this time, I'm going to have Star added to the screen. Hey, Boo.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Well, I'm so excited to have you on. I really wanted to have some people who may have been touched by me. You have been around me for a very long time, so you get to grow up with me. You are
all my life
under me, right? And so I want you to tell you a little bit about. I want you to tell a little bit about yourself and how I have mentored you through the process.
Well, I mean, of course, you're my older sister, so like basically like a lot of times a mother role because like cooking, getting us off to school, things of that nature. But if I could just even speak within the last, I want to say year of like just the influence and the conversations and the tough love, I mean, I look at where I'm now, like relocated from Jersey. I'm relocating to Charlotte. And July, I'll have a full service skin wellness center up and operating and running in Charlotte. I'm a licensed esthetician in the state of New Jersey. I'm working on getting my license also here in North Carolina. So just some paperwork that needs to be done. No more schooling, just paperwork.
Right.
I think that it's just, I'm blessed to have you in my life because I think that it's so many times you feel ashamed or embarrassed or just confused and you need an outlet or somebody who's going to speak life into you. And I think that there was just situations and things that happened. COVID was tough on everybody getting laid off. And I think that we sometimes can die a little bit inside. And so I'm super grateful for you speaking life into me, not letting up, being very tough at times, letting me know it's like okay.
Just tell them that part. I'm a little tough cookie, but my heart is always in the right place. I'm taking sugar out my diet and sugar out my conversations too, because neither one of them are healthy.
There were times when I would be like, "Ooh, she get on my nerves." I mean, you be on point, but it's like, you want to hear it, but then sometimes you gotta put yourself back and like think about it and like let it sit on your spirit and like really just understand like it's the truth. So as far as getting soul coached, I've been soul coached this whole entire year. And definitely picked up and got my life all the way in order.
All the way. I'm super proud.
Look at where I am now. Like again, I've been a late bloomer, and I've always born talented, born gifted, super blessed. God always has His arms wrapped so tight around me. And I think that let things that I never dealt with from childhood kind of block me from where I'm going. And I released a lot of things in this last year, and the proof is in the pudding. Like again, I'm gonna have a full operating skin wellness center up running by the beginning of July, ready to take and transform their skin and help them create a relationship. Me and them work as partnerships for healthy skin and just wellness from the inside out, because skin is also internal. So even just to be able to dedicate myself to that, stick with it and follow through, and look now that it's like, wow, I'm so close to that very moment. I'm super grateful because a lot of people could act like they want to help, but then seem so untouchable. I even am grateful for even the extensions of you, because Dr. Deborah Dunstan, you connected me to her
Mm-hmm.
spiritually as far as my spiritual gifts. She has definitely helped me. So my gifts are definitely potent and vibrant and working and moving. And I'm a healer, and it's like I'm a healer, and it's just it's amazing for somebody like me who came from being so rough and tough, that's mellowed out so much and just calm spirited now. I'm just super grateful again, because it's like you can't imagine the power in the people around you,
Mm.
people around me, the power inside of you. Again, I'm just super grateful and honored, and I'm always like telling like everybody like, yeah, that's my sister, she's amazing. Like, you know, I want to ride with you, because I'm like, I think about the times when I wasn't riding for myself, and you was like, no,
Mm.
not how it's gonna go, and you wasn't having it. And even if you had to cuss me out, like, you know, I'm here. So Charlotte, be on the lookout. Empress
Be
Aesthetics.
on the lookout.
Be on the
Follow
lookout.
her on IG.
Let me take care of your skin. I'll be doing skincare, facials, all skin
And I'm going to
services.
have you on again. We're going to do a live together so that you can
Laser
sit
lipo.
down. Yes.
Want to get shaped out? I got you. Come see me. You can follow me on Instagram, Empress Aesthetics 1.
So thank you, my love. It was such a pleasure having you on, and you sharing. And I'm so glad that
And
my
another extension of her.
Touched by Essence. She's coming on next. Look, she found me into the green room. She got us thrown off.
Everything she touches turning to gold over here. See all the extensions of P.
Love you, boo. I'll see you. You going there. I'm gonna put you back in the green room to end out with you.
Okay.
On to the next. Love you, girl.
Love you too.
Bye-bye. So that is one. And here we have next, because we're going to move this right along so that we can get out of here in time. So right now, I'm going to invite on Miss Essence Paulin, which is my oldest. And so I could not talk about mentoring people without having my almost 20-year-old on, who I'm so very proud of. Hey, boo.
Hello. Your thing makes you. I don't know.
You gotta find yourself cute. There you go. So at this time, you look fine on ours. It's just you on your phone. That's why. So at this time, I'm so glad to have you on. Have you been able to hear a little bit on? If you didn't, this is just your time to tell us a little bit about how my impact how my soul mentoring or me as your mom has impacted who you are today.
So her mentoring has helped me to become an entrepreneur in a way. So like I got used to like making things of my own. So like I have my own hair business at Touch by S, where I do like box braids, and I just started doing butterfly locks, knotless braids. You gotta try soft locks too. So
and how about how you feel mentally? How are you doing in school and just how you deal with high volume situations? Because you are a 19-year-old dealing in life, and I have to say we had a great experience with you. And so while we live in a world where there's so much going on in the youth, how did you keep your mind straight to just be very positive in life? You know, how did you do that?
I would just say like having like an outlet or like somebody to talk to is good. And like my mom's very like approachable, and like you can like talk to her about stuff. So I don't really feel stressed that much because I can just go talk to her about it. And a lot of people don't get that with their parents. Like they're like scared to tell them stuff. But I don't care. So I'm gonna say what it is, okay?
Well, I'm glad that you know how to say what it is. And I'm even more excited that you were part of my launch. I couldn't do it without you. So I'm grateful that you found your way on when you are never online. But thank you. Love you. And I shall see you later. Okay. Bye-bye. You about to come on next. Hit your link. Anyway, the next one, I'll put it in your messenger. The next person that is going to be added on at this time is we have Miss Stephanie Morrison, and she's going to share. Oh my God, why is my stream stuck? Give me a second. What is going on here? That thing is frozen again. Okay, so it's not allowing me to put all right, sorry. So at this time, I'm gonna do Nicole Robinson at this time while I'm trying to work out why the other one is not coming in. So Nicole Robinson, let me add you to the screen, Queen. Hey, boo.
Hey, love, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You were next.
Okay, great. Yeah, y'all gotta excuse my voice. Y'all gotta excuse my voice. I'm a little hoarse. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, hear me? Okay. All right. I hope everybody's doing well. My name is Nicole, and I met Precious on a friendship base when she was getting ready to launch this baby out of there. And it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. She was always encouraging me to do everything. She said, no, Nicole, you have something in you. You have something in. We're going to bring that out. Because she know I'm shy. I don't like to talk. I don't be in front of cameras, anything. And like I said, and the soul is just so pure, the whole family. And it just brought me in, and I was just like part of the family. So it just felt comfortable to release and just open up things I never told close friends. And it was like I met her, and it's like I've always known her. That's her spirit, and that's what she brings out. She's going to encourage you to think for you, to love you, and to know it's okay, because then it's not selfish. Because now before, like you say, I can't do this for me because I got to do this for them. I got to do this for them. But as she says, if you're not straight, how can you help anybody else be straight? And I just had to get that in my head too, because I'm a giver. I'm a giver. I work in healthcare, and I would just and I just give, and I just sometimes forget to give to myself. And as I started saying earlier, COVID, with COVID putting you down and making you really put you in a place of self, and you gonna have to face yourself in that mirror and say, okay, all what I've been talking, all what I've been hearing, it's time to apply. And within that applying, I went ahead, my girl kept pushing me. I ain't get a book out, but I did start my t-shirts. I started to have a shirt.
I'm so proud of you. Listen, you didn't get a book out yet.
I know. Yeah.
You started a
business. I got it up. Yes, I started that, and it's Nikki's Visions, So that is something that
you got your light. You became a flow. Am I saying it? How do I say it? I'll be messing up that word.
Which
one? You went to school. You got your.
Okay, yeah.
You know how to say that word.
Phlebotomy. Okay, I'm a CMA. I'm a medical assistant, but I went back and I got the phlebotomy papers.
That's right.
Yes. So that's why I got me got my foot back in the door of the medical field. So that's why I just run a lab. I just work in a doctor's office, loving it. But like I said, I want to do for me, So that is, you got to do what you have to do what you want to do.
Come on now. And you did that. Yes. I couldn't have this
of that doctor. I missed my time. Like she said, refill. I am overdue for my refill.
Oh, it's coming. I'm gonna have something ready every week now that I'm launching my school. So I'm excited. And I wanted to give access for these moments, especially the pandemic taught us that we need that connection at this point, because we can refill from anywhere this way. I say the internet is like God, is omnipresence. It's what you do with it that makes the difference. So that's everything. I'm so glad that you came on to share.
Oh, like I said, I'm always gonna be there for you. Whatever you say, I'm always gonna be there. Love it, love it, love it.
Love you, love you, love you. And I'll see you in the green room.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye.
All right.
So now at this time, now that I got it understood, we can now have Stephanie D. Morrison in this time. Are you ready? Thumbs up, Queen? Good, 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 good. So without further ado, hey, Queen!
Hey,
On my show.
you are phenomenal. This has been so good.
Have you been enjoying it?
Huh?
Have you been enjoying it?
Yes, as always, you are just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I can't even remember when we first met, but I know it was at a book author showcase by Lisa and Brian McNeil. And it is just amazing. I remember getting your book, and then you had a CD you were giving out. You were had poems on it, and your voice is so comforting and soothing, and just the words, the way you put together words, it just heals a heart. And I'm just so happy to be connected with you. And every time we talk, it's like you are saying something that is like, did she just say that? Wow. Wow. So, I mean, I don't have everything. I got to get that shirt. Remember the shirt you were wearing?
That's right. Day? That's right.
I got to get the shirt, but your books, phenomenal. I mean, just the way you create all your inventory, your bags, and she just got everything. Everything is blinged out and personalized with her brand. And it's just your heart. It's so pure. So I am just so grateful to be connected to you. And one of the things,
y'all giving me chills. Y'all trying to make me cry.
One of the things that really stood out was one of our last conversations. It was after you were on my show. I have a show Thursdays, Heart to Heart, Conversations with Stephanie at 12 every Thursday. And what you said is I told you something about me finding out how I can be like you, a healer. And you was like, you do it already. And I'm like, huh? It is so amazing how you're able to see into people where the person doesn't really quite see themselves yet. So I want to thank you for allowing me to see that, because I didn't really see it until you said it. And I'm like, wow. So thank you, Queen. I love you so much. And I can't wait to see how much more you can make me wealthy.
WELLTHY, baby.
That's
Wellthy. I love it. Mwah. Phenomenal. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations on your launch. I am so super excited. I am so excited for you.
I'm so excited. Thank you, my love. I will definitely see you in the green room. I love you too.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Oh, man. Let me take a breather, honey. They're going to try to make me cry. So at this time, I'm going to have my cousin. We have a male in the building. Coach Hinton is coming on. I don't want to say too much, but just as he called to say how I was inspiring him, he set me on fire. And one of the things he said, I was, doing everything. And at that point, it was like, I have to get the financial thing. And he was talking to me and I was like, I got to get to the money. And he said something that stuck with me forever to this day. And I know is why I am creating what I want to create in the financial part of my life. Is he said, if you want to get to the money, you got that wrong. You need to look in the mirror. You are the money. And so long I'm telling everybody that you have the gift, but the thing that I needed, I couldn't see in myself. Why? That's why God sends each other, because I can see a soul. I can see God in everybody. So I have that gift, but I can see wealth because I came from struggle and we've always made ends meet and we've always been grateful, but never had the overflow. And so that wasn't in my mindset, but he helped me to see that It is who you are. And so just as we give to receive. And God made it available because I was willing to give. And so, Coach Hinton, we're going to have you on right now. How are you, cuz?
How you feeling, cuz? I feel amazing.
Great.
Are you able to hear me clearly?
I'm hearing you perfectly. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
I'm so appreciative. And I'm extremely appreciative of you. I know I tell you this often, but like really, you are one of the most monumental speakers I've ever met. Like, and I'm not saying it just because you're my cousin. Like, you just really are. And what stuck with me is 2018 when I was booked with Les Brown, and that was my very first time speaking on stage, and you told me to tell my story, and you said that's something that no one could ever take from you, and your story is your power. And I utilized that then, and I utilized that all the way until now and through now, and it's been my power.
And I'm seeing you do amazing things. You wrote a book. Come on, that too. I keep your second one in my pocketbook. I carry it everywhere. It is my blueprint.
Okay.
$1 million, okay? It is my blueprint. When I open it up, I said, this is how many subscribers you need. So it's a visualization. And so it's like we coach each other to show up because that's what God wants us to do. And so I served you. And when you called to tell me what I did for you, you opened up a new door. And so that's why I love this social, that, like I said, the computer, the internet, because I didn't even know that I was touching you. I was just showing up, not knowing who was on the other side. And so today is so special because it's not only the launch of my healing center, school, call it what you will, academy, I don't care. It's a place where you will never be the same, where you will see your magic through every abracadabra moment. But what was so powerful about it was I did it not knowing who was on the other side, and you just never know who you're showing up for. And it could be somebody that you had access to your whole life. Come on now. So, we just don't know what we're missing because of the conversations we don't have. And so that's why I want to interrupt the flow to say there are so much more we should be talking about because God is waiting for us to heal each other. And so I thank you for telling me that I mattered because it helped me validate a little bit more of what I didn't know while I was doing it. So I love you for that. And I celebrate you for always saying yes. So y'all can tell them how to follow you.
Coach Hinton on all platforms, including CoachHinton.com and Coach Hinton on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Awesome. Well, I love you. I'll see you in the green room. Let me get to our last. We got 3 more people and we're out of here, y'all. Mwah. Speak to you soon, love.
All right.
So next is, this queen right here is, you want to talk about love. Dr. Deborah, are you available on that end? Or should I? You ready? Okay, good. You want to talk about love. You want to talk about God. You want to talk about somebody showing up and what it means to be a healer. This queen right here, Dr. Deborah for healing. Oh, let's invite her on right now.
Hello, everybody. I am tired. My show just ended at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. So I'm over here so I could hear, I was like, let me hurry up and log in so I can hear. And you have been wonderful, but I knew you would be. I knew when I met you. And sometimes with Precious, I find myself saying, does that girl know how old she really is? She has such an old soul that she touches me in a real special way. When I first met you, I said something special about her. And you hadn't even started calling yourself the Soul Sage Doctor yet.
Right.
And Soul and Sage, that just all over you. That fit because I knew that you touch people at their soul. You meet people at their soul. My spirit jumped when I met you. You hadn't spoken yet, actually, where I was. but your energy was just out there. It was just there. And so when I think about Precious, even though I'm a lot older than Precious, I could be Precious's mama. And I think about her in that she actually has an impact on whoever she meets. It doesn't matter. I told her something. I said something to her, and she came right back at me, which was good. Which was good. I was so proud of her. I said, "Girl, you need to charge people for that." And she said, "Well, I have something coming up because she can tell you, she can get you. She can get you right where you need to be gotten." That's why I put her in there. Sometimes a little cuss out does well. Now she ain't cuss me out yet. Star, she ain't cuss me out yet. But she get her point across. I said, "You're really good for young people." She said, "Oh no, I'm good for all people." And you know what? I didn't feel offended because many of you know that I lost my husband a little over 2 weeks ago after just had a week sickness, and he was gone. And I myself was ill too. And Precious and Melissa, well, Stephanie came over and she stayed all day with me. So it's amazing. And then later on that evening, Precious, Melissa, and Star showed up. You talking about all that energy walking in my door? All that energy walked in my door and joined Stephanie's energy. And I felt myself just vibrating. I was like, "Hey, stop being happy. Your husband died. Your husband just your husband. I'm being happy." But being around Precious helped me to realize that I can be happy because and I can be joyful. That's what it was. It was joy. Because we know that happiness comes from happenings. Well, at the time, my happiness wasn't working too good, but our joy comes from Jesus, and it comes from the Spirit, and that's what I felt coming off of her. And don't let her get to talking, because watch. Some of you know that I see in the Spirit. I actually see forms. I actually see things. I actually see spirits. Sometimes in formation, as in a man or in an angel, or sometimes as a demonic spirit. But when Precious was talking, I actually got mesmerized. Yep. My almost 62-year-old self got mesmerized. And I was just looking at her as I saw something entering her and coming out through her mouth. And I said something to her, and this is how I always remember her. I just said, "You have the gift of knowing." I saw it pouring into her. And many times she is the answer, and she comes with the answer, and she's the messenger, and she's not even aware of it. Anything she said, I needed to hear to go through my healing process of losing my husband, and also my physical healing process. They say physician heal thyself, but what I like to say is physicians, healers, let's heal each other, because we need to. And so I thank Precious for being one of those places where I can come and I can fill up and I can go out and serve again. And I am Dr. Deborah of Dr. Deborah for Healing and Dr. Deborah Nonprofit Solutions. And Precious has helped me to bring these to light. And then after that night, I wanted to stand up again, because I won't lie to you. I got hit pretty hard. But her presence and what she was pouring into me, not even knowing, she's talking to everybody. I'm like, this is for me. This is for me. And when I opened myself up to receive it and stop thinking about it, I still thought about, this girl know how old she is. She don't even know her age. And that's what it is to work in the Spirit and to be the Soul Sage Doctor. So I appreciate her and I love her, and keep giving like you give. Thank you.
I love you. I knew you was gonna make me cry. I've been holding it. Woo! You are just as amazing. I'm just as blessed to have you as you are to have me. And that's why I'm just overflow with just everybody that's on, because you guys just make it so easy for me to show up. Because for so long, people did say, well, what does she have to say? I was too young. And even now at 40, is like, I just come. What am I supposed to do? I can't say how old. I don't know the time. It's what he said. So
it just pours out of you.
Because you received me from day one. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I knew there was something in you. You hadn't spoken a word yet. Somebody else was speaking, but I knew. I could feel you. And I was like, wow, I don't know if I'm ready for this. But I love it. And your book has helped me too. Not just your book has helped me. It really has. I have to pick it up sometimes and say, come on, we got to find something. And I ask it to speak to me. speak to my heart. As Holy Spirit, you go in her book and you find what you think you feel I need. So I appreciate you and I love you, girl. I appreciate you, Queen.
I can't wait to see you on Thursday.
Oh yeah. I'm so excited.
So love you, and I'll see you in the green room soon.
Okay.
All right. All right, you guys. And next up, I don't think I'm gonna get it together. Next up, we're gonna have Lala. Hey, boo! This is your boo right here.
Yes. Oh my gosh. The only thing I keep hearing is phenomenal woman. Phenomenal woman. Think it not strange that your name is precious because you are a gem. You are a precious gem. I'm like, Lord, what do I say? What do I say? I call her my purpose twin. She's my sister. I remember the first time that I met you, you said this poem, and I was like, Lord, who is she? I must meet her. I must collaborate with her. So I'm elated right now. I'm honored. Like, I don't take it lightly to call you friend. I don't call everybody friend. And I don't take it lightly that you call me your friend. I love the fact that for a moment, I didn't know how to come to you, but when I came to you, we were both in the same space, and you greeted me and you accepted me with open arms and said, you know what, sis, I want to do this with you. We are on this journey together, and I am so elated that you don't judge me. I can call you as you person is sort of like, no, you know, she can't really see that part of me, but you're real. You're awesome. You're you all the time. So what you speak about, you are about. I want the people to know that that's really what you are about. Like, you are the wordsmith. You are the wordsmith. You are the person that has all the acronyms, but they all have meaning. And it's like every single time I hang up the phone with you, sis, I'm full. Full. So I just want you to know that, because I can go on and on about you all night, but I don't want to take up all the time. But I love you. I appreciate you. Even when I called you today with my situation, you just let me know our children, they don't belong to us. They've come through us, and they're on their own personal journey. I just want you to know that you are phenomenal. I do not take it lightly that you're my friend. I do not. I honor you, sis. As the elder, I can still come to you and learn. And I honor you. I honor you. And guys, I just want to say, at this moment, because of who she is, the phenomenal woman, let's drop a cash app. Let's honor her in her own land. Let's honor her, because all she does is she pours and she pours and she gives and she gives. She's the soul sage doctor, and I'm the engineer. I said a purpose engineer, but she comes sometimes to the engineer who has the plan, and she says, I gotta lube you up. I see right here you're a little tight. You need this fix. You need it. And she never says no. She never turns you down. She never turns her back on you. Don't take the gift that she is and what she carries lightly, because it's heavy. She paid a price. She paid a price, and that she would share it with us. How awesome. How awesome, sis. I love you. Thank you. I love you. And I don't take our relationship, our friendship, our kinship, us being purpose twins, I don't take that lightly. And God had me hidden because I didn't know who or what to trust. And I thank him for bringing you into my life. I love you. I do.
I love you. And I feel the exact same way.
You're a bad sister. You are. You're a bad sister.
Shut your mouth. I love you. Let me get the last two in. Thank you. Oh my goodness. That was so amazing. You a mess. Oh, man. So at this time, I'm going to have another male on. My husband of 19 years. Hello, baby.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good.
How have I impacted your life?
Oh, wow. Man, it'll take too long for me to explain everything. So I'm just going to sum it up and say that you are the light. Girl, you just been shining on me in my life. You see, I even got a dark background. You see that dark background I had? That's what I had. That's what it was when you met me. That's ironic.
Oh my God.
I had a dark background when you met me. And now I'm skating in the light.
Yes, you are, baby.
God connected me to the light.
And
I thank God for you. And the only thing I just feel, I feel like I can't, it's so much to be appreciated from you for. Did I say that right? I can't even get the words right. It is so much appreciation that I have for you and respect that I have for you as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, as a friend, as a cousin, as a sister, as a daughter. The level of respect that I have for you, and I don't even respect women until you. I didn't respect. I thought you all were liars, and I just didn't trust or believe nothing a woman said. And what you did was you just rearranged my whole way of thinking to a positive way of thinking. You really did. And I'm just glad to still be here with you on this life journey. She gave me 5 children, y'all.
that I did.
Girl 41, she weighed 100. What you weigh? 138. So
yes,
I
say the baby diet.
I say all that to say, when you have something to say, people should listen. I'm gonna leave that right there. I love you.
I
always will love you. I always got your back. I'm your biggest fan. I'm your biggest fan. Yeah. And I wish it was 2 of you so I can leave one to the world and keep one to myself.
I love it. That was amazing. I love you. That meant everything. Oh, wow. I mean, I'm all red-eyed and I am so full. And I'm grateful for you for being my journey buddy too. And I'll see you later.
And you don't write poetry. Those are songs.
That's one of the things I love. When we met back in 1999.
Hate poetry.
I was like, I'm a poet. He was like, I hate poetry. And I ended up sharing a poem with him. He said, that ain't poetry. That's songs. And I said, wow, I've never heard nobody say that. So you saw in me you built me to who I am today. You love me through.
I saw in you and I saw in you.
Yes.
Praise God.
Love you. Get out of here. Bye.
Love you more.
I believe you. Okay, wasn't that special? But last, but certainly not least on the list is my dear friend, Melissa Price. She is so amazing. I mean, I wouldn't have put together all that you see, this beautiful overlay, any flyer that you've seen, support. This queen right here has been of great service to me as I was trying to get this launch off. I mean, working effortlessly to serve me as she always says I serve her. And so without further ado, I want to invite on Miss Melissa Price. Hello, love.
Hello. Chef Ron has me dying back in here. I'm dying laughing. He's so sweet, but I just love his delivery. He's always got the best delivery. So yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, I have so much to say, and I wanted to go last because I wanted you to read something from your book, because it is the 1-year anniversary, as we toiled over figuring out the other day. This is the 1 year, or not the 1-year anniversary.
It is the 3-year anniversary of my
Sorry.
365 book launch tonight,
right.
you guys.
May 25th, 2018, 365 Days Loving Yourself to Life came out. And for those of you who don't know, that is actually the first time I met Precious in person. And I mean, we were kind of doing the online networking thing before, and that was just the first time I ever got to meet her. I still have my book signed. We had to go back and figure out what was up with my date, because that was a little wonky, but we you know, this book has had sun fading. I've carried this in my car to the parks with the kids. It's got bookmarks and everything everywhere in this. But that was the beginning of my journey with Precious. And again, this could be like a whole hour show just with my my input here. But I have watched her. Well, when I first met you, and you know this, but I was so just affected and infected by your presence, by your delivery, your soul, your energy, your vibe. Just, it was just everything about you just drew me in. And so, you know, I was kind of like, oh, you were like my Oprah or my Ellen, you know, like, oh, she's so awesome. Like, oh, and after I met you, it was like, it was like this tiny little seed sprouted. And just over these last 3 years, you, like, our families have grown together. You've been a friend, you've been a coach, you've been a mentor, you've been a doctor, you have been Auntie P, you know, you've been everything. You've been everything. So I just want everybody who watches this to know that firsthand, I just met her. I met her and I connected with her and took the time to, now I'm going to cry, shake her hand and say, like, I believe in you and I believe in your message. And it turned me around. And 3 years later, I can't even say enough about what she's done for not just me, but my children. She's wrote children's books. She has pulled some strings up out of my husband. You know, she's gotten my husband to cry, not just, you know, behind the scenes while we're in the comfort of our own home, watching her do her lives and her 100-day countdowns and everything that she has put out for the world. He's always listening or watching, but he actually took it upon himself to come to Precious himself as a full-grown male who does not normally like gravitate towards this stuff, but he just is always listening to what I'm listening to. And he took the time to tell you, you have turned my world around. And that, to me, even I was like fully invested and like, yeah, Precious has got it right. Definitely. And, you know, when my husband went to you and could just with tears and real actual sentiment and heart and conviction and in him say, you've got this, you've got this 100% figured out. You have switched my perspective and you make me want to change the way I do these things and embrace this. You know, I'm just saying, when you affect the husbands, that's really leveling up, you know. But I will say, without taking up too much time, the greatest thing that I ever gained from my time with knowing Precious is that I can always replant myself. Precious taught me that when I am either at a peak valley moment, maybe it's what I want, but I still want to keep moving up to the next one. Or maybe it's like, maybe I'm in a valley and I'm not really where I want to be. Or I felt like I was operating my purpose, but now it seems like it's not working out and I don't know. And I have too many roles and titles and I'm just not sure where I am anymore. Precious is always there to like say, hey, it's all right. we can just pick you up and just put you in a fresh pot of soil here. Panic not, all will be well. You taught me that I have a light. You taught me that only I can flip the switch to my light. You put the light on my switch. And that's what your mantra is. That's what you've taught me, and what has shaped who I've become over the last 3 years is there's so many opportunities in a day to just shine a light on another soul so that they can be seen, felt, heard, something, because that's all it takes is a split second sometimes, is for somebody to just see, feel you, hear you, and then you're on your way. And that's what you did for me. I'm a homeschool mom. I have had a dream to be an author since I was 12 years old, and I just published my first book last year, which wouldn't have really come to fruition without you and all of your coaching and just pushing, and you can do it. You can do it. I look up to you as a mom. I have 2, you have 5. I'm like, how in the world can I complain? Well, I'm like, I hate laundry. And she's like, I love it. I'm like, but you have so many people. How is this possible? But even in those moments, like, Precious, when I've got like this, and this going on, you taught me to hire myself and like take myself, uproot from the laundry and go plant into what you need to be doing right now. Like, either it's your project or your kids or whatever it is, but like, you taught me how to successfully replant myself when I need to. And that, whether that replant and along with the replanting, there's 2 subcategories. One, that I can always do it myself. And 2, I can always collaborate. Both. You taught me the fruits of both worlds. You taught me I could do it myself. When I started doing these greeting cards, just so y'all know, many of you guys that are watching right now have ordered. Precious was the one that said, do it on your own. I was trying to like Vistaprint and order and do all this stuff. She's like, my aunt used to cut and score, and she's like, come on, let's do some research, and you can do this. You can build an empire off this. And I'm like, and lo and behold, you guys know I love to create. I'm an artist. So I'm sitting here doing what I love to do because she gave me the courage and told me, screw Vistaprint, do it yourself. Put some little elbow grease behind it, And then she also taught me the beauty of collaborating. There's plenty of things that I cannot do solely on my own. And instead of pulling my hair out, trying to do it and putting my dream on hold, you would be surprised at how many people, if you just ask, are so willing to be like, yes, because how else do you feel validated? And like a chance to serve someone else by your own personal talents, by asking someone else for help, you're giving them a chance to feel their own worth, So you taught me both those things. And so, yeah, I thought one of the most powerful, amazing poems, and I have all of your books, all of them.
Which one you want me to read?
All of them, but I would love the Replant Yourself, because we're talking about the Soul Sage Doctor. We're talking about mentoring the soul. And, I can't venture to say that a lot of people who have this perfect soul situation figured out are going to come to see you. There are people like me who are scattered and not sure, and like everything I'm doing, I'm either a great mom for the day, and then I fail at the homeschool mom, and maybe I wasn't so good with the chores, or like we have a hard time filling these roles and titles. And that poem helped me realize like it's in my power to just pick up, move to the next situation, and keep serving.
What page is that on, Melissa?
Hold on, I got you. It is 357. I was gonna read it, but you read so much better than I do, so I want them to hear it the way that you do, because I heard you. I heard you read it first, so
yeah.
Then I got the book.
Got it. So I'm gonna read it. Let me see if I can get you guys on too.
Hey,
let's see how many people I could get in here while I read the poem as we go to the end. Whoever's up, I'm gonna bring you in. This is our last hoorah.
Hoorah.
Hoorah, hoorah.
Let's do it.
Oh, the amazing people on. My God, let's see. We don't know where. Okay, they're black, so we'll leave them out right now. So we're going to close with this poem. We are going down to the last 10 minutes. I want to, first of all, thank everybody for showing up. I want to thank everybody for being a part of such a amazing night for me. Like, I'm going to go back and replay it, to enjoy it, to sit in it. But I just want to, before I do this poem, I just want to thank God for using me and using everybody and allowing me to get up from all of those situations that allowed me to be so impactful to each and every last one of y'all. And so I'm grateful that I was able to pay the cost, and not only pay the cost, but I was able to cash out my experience. And so what this soul healing program is all about, it's about cashing out on experience that you already paid for. It's already been paid for. And so why allow yourself to not get what you deserve, which is your love, which is your life? And so that's what life is all about. It's about understanding that that is what we do. We love on ourselves in order to love on somebody else. And so without further ado, let me get this poem down. And here we go. Replant yourself. You see, I notice your roots have been drying up, dear. I see you longing. I see the longing to your soul being suppressed by your fear. Fear of not knowing why the pain you chose to hold, not understanding it was just a lesson in the stages of your mold. You see, I notice your roots have been withering from day to day. People have been talking while not being mindful of what they say. The phrase sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me is a lie. It's in those moments you start to notice your branches begin to die. For you were made with the intentions of goodness to feed your spirit right. When you ignore that energy around, it puts your existence in a fight. A fight with what they say and who you know yourself to be. If you want to win the battle, no more excuses. It's time that I choose me. I notice your roots need replanting because there is so much for you to do. In this world of everything, there is a place etched out just for you. You are more than who they say you are. You are more than how you feel. To replant yourself, you must first let yourself heal. Forgive yourself of yesterday, for tomorrow is waiting on you. The present is a gift from God, so love yourself through and through. He knows what he created. Stand up straight so you can be replanted in the ground. In the core of you, there is a treasure waiting to be found. You were born to be great, and understand this, that no one can change what is right. So no more excuses. I choose me paves the way to walk in your light. And so I want you to know that your light is already inside, and that God placed a light in each and every one of us. And sometimes we have to understand that the breaking is how the light gets to be seen, and the cracking is how light shines through. And so after you have been broken and you have been exposed to the light that God gave each and every one of you, it is your responsibility to pick up those broken pieces and become transparent, because with that transparency, the light is able to shine through. So remember, it is a relay race, and somebody is relying on you to turn that heartbeat into a soul beat in order for you to leave your soul print. Because the fingerprint tells us what you got wrong in this world, but the soul print, it tells us what you got right. And what God got right is you. So I want you to seize each and every abracadabra moment and become your magic, because you can never turn on anybody else's light. But you can provide enough light for them to find their switch. So stay lit in this world so somebody can find their way out of the darkness. It is your responsibility. And so if you need help with that in any way, you can go now to the SoulSageDr.Company.site, and you can now book yourself a seat in the transformation of you. And you know why? Because you deserve it. Why do I know you deserve it? Because God sent me to you. You are listening to me today because God decided that it's your time to show up, to shine up, and to be who he called you to be. Because it's assignment time, and he's already given all of us general admission. But I choose me is going VIP. It's getting a seat at God's feet. It's honoring what he put in you so that you can save the world. So eternity is already created. How are we going to bring paradise here? That is your job. And so how we celebrate now is how we make sure we live in eternity. Because eternity is not just where you're going. That's already prepared. It's what you do today. Because this is to make sure that you are happy now, because you are guaranteed happy later. So let's balance out by realizing that you have been equipped for such a time like this. And I am your Soul Sage Doctor. I love you. Thank you. And I shall speak to all of you guys very soon. Programs launch in June. So take care of those souls. And remember, you deserve it. Mwah. Any last thing anybody want to say? You can unmute yourself.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
Guys. Got you. Got you in there. I see you popped in, my dad. I put you in. Okay. See you guys. Hey, ladies. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys are looking and you watching the replay, let us know how this hour felt. Reach out to all these kings and queens because they all have something that can serve you. Remember that when we don't compete with each other, we complete each other. And the difference in the letter is the L, and the L stands for love. And God loves us all. So let's love on each other and show up for each other because that's what it's about. Love you, and I'll speak to you guys later.